Hey everyone, this might be the perfect mobile OLED touchscreen display you've been looking for. And spoilers up front, it is a great monitor, except for this one flaw it has. Building suspension and all that. So let's talk about that.
This is Hubwood.
This mobile monitor by UPERFECT is called the UColor O2 Touch. And it can be used for laptops, desktop PCs, gaming consoles like the PlayStation or the Nintendo Switch via dock, and even your phone if it supports display out over USB-C. It is available as a touch version and as a non-touch version, which are identical except for the, well, you've guessed it, the touchy thing. It's a 16-inch OLED display with a relatively high resolution of 2880 by 1800 pixels, resulting in a 16:10 aspect ratio, also referred to as 3K since it's almost 3000 pixels wide. The pixel density is 212 ppi or pixels per inch. The refresh rate is 120 Hz and the response time is of course pretty neat since it's an OLED with a latency of only 1 millisecond, which is really great for gaming. It has a very good color accuracy with 100% for sRGB, 95% for Adobe RGB, 100% for DP3 color space, and 93% for NTSC. Videos, images, and games just look super good on this. It also offers HDR without certification though. For the maximum brightness without HDR, I personally measured a good 437 nits, and it's only an 8-bit panel, though it's 8-bit plus FRC. Now, what does FRC mean? You can experience the full range of 10-bit colors even on an 8-bit monitor. This is achieved through frame rate control, or FRC, which manipulates pixels by rapidly alternating between two colors, creating the perception of over 1 billion shades. Is the monitor actually displaying those billion plus colors? No. But will you notice the difference? Probably not. Now, I was mentioning a flaw in the beginning, and you probably already guessed it while I was talking about the specs. It unfortunately doesn't have any adaptive sync functionality like FreeSync or G-Sync. That's especially helpful for gaming to prevent screen tearing, though you still can absolutely use this for gaming, as the 120 Hz do help provide a much smoother image nonetheless. Also, using VSync can stop the image from tearing, and 120 FPS should really be more than enough for anybody. If you're only going to use this for work-related stuff or watching a movie, you don't need adaptive sync like at all. Also, let me know in the comments if the missing adaptive sync function would prevent you from buying such a monitor, or if you're fine with 120 Hz by itself. Depending on the brightness and what's on the screen, the UColor O2 Touch only pulls around 8 to 16 watt from the wall, so that is quite efficient and not a lot considering it's a 120 Hz OLED. The whole body of this monitor is made out of aluminum, with thin bezels at the sides over here and at the top, and a bigger bezel at the bottom. And it's insanely stable, and this is not comparable to laptop screens. That's a different level of stability over here, though it is super thin, with being only between 3 mm thick at the upper half and 6.5 mm thick at the lower half. While it weighs only 725 grams with an additional 413 grams for the case, and is therefore really super light. You can easily fit this into your backpack together with your laptop, for example. The ports are on the right side, while on the left side you can find the buttons to go through the decent and logical enough display menu. The packaging is, again, just like for the last UPERFECT monitor I reviewed, a bit weird and way too neutral. Boring almost, but just like a white box with a monitor illustration, and that's it basically. I mean, they should by all means at least include the brand name here. UPERFECT includes a lot of cables with the UColor O2 Touch. There is 2 USB-C to USB-C cables, one of which could be used for the 30-watt charger, or one could be used to connect to your USB-C port directly, either for powering the screen or using the display port of your device like your laptop or mini PC. Then it has one mini HDMI to HDMI cable and one USB-C to USB-A cable to enable the touch function on laptops and PCs. The USB cables are 118 centimeters long, but the HDMI cable only measures 1 meter. The monitor comes with this simple fake leather case, which weighs an additional 413 grams, and that also works as a mobile monitor stand. And it attaches itself to the back of the screen with magnets. You can easily set up the stand within 3 seconds, and let me show this to you. Now it's closed. Opening the case, you fold it in front, And there's a small trench in which you can place the monitor, so it has a good stability, and that's it. The naked monitor without the case also offers a VESA mount at the back, over here, so you can use it with any regular monitor stand. In some occasions you can power the monitor by connecting it via USB-C over display out only, but I had some problems with that as the monitor would sometimes start flickering. If you're connecting it via HDMI, you will probably need to use the small included 30-watt USB power supply anyhow, especially if you don't have USB-C on your device to power it. For the touch function to work, the monitor also needs to be connected via the USB-A cable. That means if you want to use the touch function via HDMI, you will probably need to have all 3 cables plugged into the monitor, which could potentially be in the way if you wanted to place it on the left side of your laptop, so keep that in mind. The touch functionality worked flawlessly for me, feels very smooth, and it also supports gestures. I think for macOS the touch function probably won't work though. As far as I'm aware, the non-touch model is available as of making this video, while the touch version might need a few weeks before it's shipped. So make sure to check that out on UPERFECT's website first. Unfortunately, the HDMI port is an HDMI 2.0 port only, which means that the monitor can't use the full 120 Hz refresh rate and is limited to 100 Hz at the native resolution, as that would exceed the 18 GB bandwidth that HDMI 2.0 can deliver. On lower resolutions it's possible to use 120 Hz though. And with DisplayPort over USB-C, you can use the full 120 Hz at the native resolution of 2880 by 1800 pixels as well. The UColor O2 Touch also has 2 very simple speakers at the back, which I personally would not use, but I guess it's better to have them as backup than not. But the sound quality really isn't worth talking about. But I guess it's a screen review and not a speaker review. Right now the touch version of the UColor O2 costs $399, but if you're using the code Hubwood30 on checkout, you will get an additional $30 off, which could even work with other holiday discounts, etc. applied. So for you it's only $369 or less. The non-touch version costs $349 and only around $319 or less with the code applied. They also have a 30-day free return policy if you don't like the monitor, shipping is free, and there's a 2-year warranty, meaning it's basically risk-free, just as it should be. So I really like the quality of the display and the colors, etc. That just looks so good with any content really. It has a good brightness and color accuracy. It has a great build quality, it is very portable, and if Adaptive Sync and HDMI 2.1 was added, it would probably indeed be a perfect portable monitor. If you're looking for a more gamer-oriented, bigger and cheaper non-OLED, non-touch 18-inch monitor with Adaptive Sync, check out my review of the K118 by UPERFECT afterwards. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like the video or even subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, see you next time, bye bye and tschüss.